Hello everyone. Before the computer system, data were stored in files and folders, causing wastage of large amount of space and paper, threatening their safety. As there are problems in traditional file keeping, computer-based file keeping is needed. Hence, we have today's topic, database concepts and relational databases. Today, we will be having all these topics. First one is introduction about databases. What is DBMS and what are its needs, its functions, relational databases and RDBMS, key terms and different types of keys. In earlier days, we used paper-based databases like students' register, diaries, customer details stored by the shopkeeper, etc. So, database is an organized collection of related data. These are some of the examples of databases we use in day-to-day life. Police force use databases to store the details of different types of crimes and related reports. Likewise, librarian stores data about the book issued, the book that is returned, the fine, etc. in the library. What is database management system? Database management system is a software that enables users to create and maintain databases. Examples of DBMS are MySQL, PostgreSQL, Microsoft Access, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, IBM DB2, and Sybase. In our curriculum, we have to learn about MySQL. What are the functions of DBMS? First, DBMS store data in a structured way. There are various ways to store data. One is in tabular form, another is in hierarchical model, another one is network model. But for us, we have to study about relational database management system and relational databases, which will be dealing in a further classes. Next function of DBMS is to query the database. We can ask questions about the data which we need to the database management system. We can sort and manipulate the data in a database. We can validate the data entered and check for inconsistencies. It can also produce flexible reports both on screen and on paper that make it easy to comprehend the information stored in a database. Example, we can generate the student's report card if we give the student marks and other details. Now coming to relational database. I told you already we can store data in the form of tables, also called as relations, or we can store data in the form of a hierarchical model or a network model. For us, we need to learn how we can store data in the form of tables or relations. So such databases where we store data in the form of tables is known as relational databases. A table refers to a two-dimensional representation of data using rows and columns. It is like a spreadsheet where data is stored in form of rows and columns. Let's see an example of such table. So here you can see a table customer with 5 columns. Columns are customer ID, name, last name, address, telephone number. So vertical subset of data is known as columns. Likewise, you have 4 records. One is 101 record for the customer ID, 102, 103 and 104. So when you take the details of 101, you get some details like 101 is the customer ID. The first name of that person for the customer is Prachi. Last name is Mehra, or address and telephone number. So you can say vertical subset of data is known as row. So horizontal subset of data is known as rows and vertical subset of data is known as columns. So let's see these basic terms. Row, the horizontal subset of table is known as row. Another name for row is tuple, or you can say record. Each row represents a record which is a collection of data about a particular person, place or thing. Next we have column or attribute, which is called the vertical subset of the table, and they are also known as field. Each column has a unique name and the content within must be of the same type. That means you take this customer ID column, all values are numerical values which shows the customer ID. When you take telephone number, same, all are telephone numbers only. You don't have another type of data in telephone number. So now, what is a relational database? Database that stores data in separate tables that are related through use of common column is called relational database. Students, this is very important. How we join the two tables, how we relate the two tables, two or more tables, is through a common column. Very important. It is through a common column. Such a database, such a collection of related tables formed is known as relational database. Now let's see an example of relational database and how they are connected through a column. Here you have three tables. One is the student table, second one is participant table, and third one is activity table. And all these three tables are a part of the database called learner. Now you can examine the student table. It is having two columns. One is student name and student ID. Likewise, in participant table, you have student ID, which is common to student table and participant table. And participant table also lists the activities that a particular student is participating. Now coming to the activity table. Activity table consists of two columns, the list of activities and their related fees. So a particular student, say example, the 84 student ID belongs to KS Lakshmi, and she is participating in two activities, swimming and dancing. And the cost for swimming is 2,000 rupees and cost for dancing is 1,500. So this is how tables are related to a common column. So student table and participant table are joined using student ID, and participant table and activity table are connected using activity column. Now let's see the RDBMS terminologies. Let's discuss about the four keys in RDBMS. First one is primary key, second one is canonical key, third one is alternate key, and fourth one is foreign key. Primary key. Every database should have a column or a group of columns designated as primary key. So primary key is a field in a table that is unique for each record. Very important. That's why I highlighted it using red. So it is unique for each record. So such examples of primary keys are admission number, patient number, account number, etc. In our classroom itself, when I take roll number, when I say roll number 5, only one person will be standing up when I say roll number 5. So using roll number, I'm identifying a person uniquely. Likewise, when a phone number is given, when you go to hospital and all, first thing they will ask is phone number, the registered phone number. So when we give the registered phone number, you will get a particular patient details. So phone number is acting as primary key. Likewise, patient number, likewise account number in banks. So account number is a unique number which is only for a particular customer. Now, some more examples of primary key are accession number of a book in book table, employee ID, item code of an item in the stock, and flight number of a flight. Okay, so the purpose of primary key is uniquely identify each record in a table. What is candidate key? In a table, collection of keys that uniquely identify a record. That means you can say it's a collection of primary keys or a collection of keys that uniquely identify the record. Example, in the student table, you can have an admission number, student can have a roll number, student will have an email ID, student will have a telephone number. So these 4 keys together we can call as candidate key, because using any of these keys or a pair of these keys will uniquely identify a particular record. And one among the candidate key is selected as primary key. So primary key is a subset of candidate key. In a table, there can be more than one field that uniquely identifies a record. So such a collection of keys is known as candidate key. Next is alternate key. See, same example. In the student table, you have 4 keys that uniquely identifies a record, that is your admission number, roll number, telephone number, and email ID. Now, it is my discretion which key I have to choose as my primary key. So, if I am the database administrator, I'll be selecting roll number as my as a primary key for the table student. So, the remaining keys, that is admission number, telephone number, and the email ID, we can say it as alternate keys. So you can tell candidate key minus primary key. Candidate key minus the selected primary key is the alternate key. So student ID is primary key of student table. Likewise, the student ID is used to join student table and participant table. So you can say student ID is a foreign key in participant table. So foreign key is a key, mainly it will be a primary key. So that key is used to join 2 tables, 2 or more tables. Likewise here activity is a key or a column which help us to join participant table and activity table. So you can say activity column is a foreign key between participant table and activity table. So this is just an example of the table. Here admission number and roll number together uniquely identifies a particular student, and we can select any one among them as my primary key. So the remaining will be the alternate key. So let us summarize what we learned in this session. Relational database was a chapter we learned. Here we learned that we have different data models, different format to store the data. That is relational model, network model, hierarchical model, where we need to learn about a relational model which stores data in the form of relations, also known as tables. Now, next one is what is a database and its components. If you want to work in a database, you need some data, you need a hardware, you need a software, and you need users. Now, next one we learned is different types of keys which uniquely identifies an entity, that is primary key, foreign key, alternate key, candidate key.